Update for today, January the 26th. Actually filming this at 12:16 in the morning on the 27th. But update for the 26th. So today I worked in at the store, another bagger shift, and it was another day where somebody or somebody's didn't show up. And so for the second day in a row, spent about half my day on the register, and actually the other half, most of which, or at least like a couple hours of which, I got to spend cleaning the janitorial room again, um, which honestly is kind of satisfying. It's definitely a community, or what I call a tragedy of the commons type of situation, where technically a room that belongs to everyone gets taken care of oftentimes by no one. And it's something you can look up called Tragedy of the Commons, and it definitely happens in that room. So honestly, it feels kind of good to tidy it up a little bit. But yeah, after that, spent the second half of my day primarily on the register. And yeah, afterwards, went to the gym, got a quite good workout in. Then went and got some dinner, and then within minutes of finishing dinner, I'm going to go lay down for a few minutes. And then woke up 4 hours later at almost midnight, and decided I'd film this real quick before before attempting to go back to bed before and letting my sleep schedule get completely messed up. But anyway, and kind of on that same topic of call outs and whatnot, thought I'd well, something that is relevant to both that and the big series of things that I'm kind of going through in my life. So here goes. When I was in school, I can tell you pretty much exactly when the days I missed in school were. Um, there was a day in third grade where we had gone to Oaks Park, and it had been super crowded. Oaks Park is a little amusement park kind of carnival thing over in Portland. And we had gone to it, and it had been super, super crowded. And so my dad decides that we were going to try it again, and so he picked just a random weekday in May during the school year, and and so we went there and had a fun day. And so there was a day like that in third grade, and then there was a day in fifth grade when it had actually snowed. And my second and third grade year were no snow years. Fourth grade was close to a no snow year. I think we had just a couple of it. Fifth grade, we had a day where it actually snowed and actually stuck, and they decided they were going to have school anyway. And I knew for a fact we were going to have a sub, and Dad let me skip to play in the snow. And then in seventh grade, I missed 4 days because I got the flu. That was it. That was it. Basically, when I was growing up, being sick was not a reason to miss school, unless you were dying. I think there was a fifth grade day where got sent home early. I think there was a second grade day of that as well, because that was not a reason to not go. And vacation during school? No. Leave early if you weren't sick? No. Automated high school, college, when you get that automated school phone call, get a parent excuse to get out of it? Not at my house. Nope. And that kind of carried over until or when I got into the working world. Here are the times that I've called out sick for me being sick when I've been working for the retail company. There was a day in August 2002, sinus infection. There was a day in 2007, also a sinus infection. Actually, take that back. 2008 was the sinus infection day. And then when I worked for the cruise line, I missed 4 or 5 days in a row because I got the flu again. And that's been it. That has been literally it. And I missed 1 day in grad school, because just stomach flu or something. That is every day of work that I have missed for a situation that does not involve my parents in my entire working career and school career. That was it. Okay. And so when my dad had the stroke in in March of 2023, no, 2022. The stroke was in March of 2022. In January of 2023, Mom decides that she needs a break from kind of taking care of him to go and deal with her extended family up in Alaska and hang out for a little bit and refresh and recoup because it had been a ridiculously hard 10 months for her, which, we all understood. And at the time, Dad had the stroke and had, kind of some left side paralysis going on, but he could get up and get out of bed on his own. He needed a mobility pole to do it, but he could get up on the pole on his own and, make his way to the restroom and whatnot without assistance all the time. And we were actually making quite good progress. And we had, for March, just a couple months later, a direct flight between Seattle and Tahiti had just been opened up. And we had booked a family trip on it. Land-based trip, no cruise or anything, to fly down there and be down there and experience it. And it would be something that we thought Dad, with what he was able to do at the time, would be able to pull off and whatnot. Well, anyway, so Mom goes up to Alaska, and I have several accounting office shifts. And coming up, which are 5 a.m. shifts. And so the arrangement that we come up with is that Dad would come here to my apartment in Vancouver and kind of hang out here, where I could help him out and whatnot. But I was still working. Because, again, missing work for unnecessary reasons, just not a thing that we did. Period. It just, no. And so, all right. And so I was at work, and anyway, long story short, Dad slips while he's on his own while I'm at work. Ever since that day, and that ended up with a hospital visit and whatnot, he has had lower back pain on his lower left side that at times can be excruciating because there was a fractured rib. There has not been a day again, that was in 2022, January 2022, like right around this week in January 2022, 4 years ago. There's not been a day that I have not felt incredible guilt over the fact that that happened on my watch. Yes, everything we knew at the time. It wasn't I was doing something wrong. It was everything as we laid it out, and we were doing everything according to our plan. But it happened, and it was technically my watch, and it's one of those things where you kind of know your extended family kind of blames you for it too. And anyhow, so that is how the entire lifetime of training that I had about you do not miss. You do not miss school, you do not miss work, you do not miss any of that, played into the situation that we're in now. And again, I've been crushed with guilt over this for 4 years. Just keeping it real. Anyway, just thought that was the story that you guys should know. Anyway, enough of that for today, and so we keep going with our battle with Dad, and yeah. Anywho, have a great rest of your afternoon, everybody. If you managed to make it to the end of this, I commend you for that, and we'll chat to you again later. Ciao for now, everyone.